Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to In the Blue Corner, the unofficial match committee, with me, Joseph Lutzer, all the way in Bangkok, and my fellow
Chris Beach here from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, the football heartland. Good evening, one and all.
It's certainly not the football heartland here in Thailand, Chris.
No,
I was just saying off air. Sorry, Chris.
No, it's right, but there's still time for it to happen. It just takes a bit of time to grow. Anyway,
we do have AFL Asia here. We've got a team called the Thailand Tigers. Can't bring myself to support them because they wear Richmond jumpers, and I can't say go Tigers, but I do support them in other ways. I go and watch them. They play. Yeah. I was going to say they play with themselves, but they play amongst themselves. There's a lot of guys here who work in the oil industry, young guys who are involved in the team. So there's a couple of guys who are, could probably play amateur football. I don't know how good they are, but I think they just do it for the social activity. They do have a very good social committee, and they do have a very good grand final function where they hire out. Bless you, Chris. Where they hire out a ballroom and they have around 300 people. They dress it up like the MCG. It's quite funny to watch the Thai people there who got no idea what's going on. Good evening, Gina. How are you? Love the Blue Heart. Hope all's well. I think she's in Corowa, Rutherglen, if my memory serves me correct. I'm getting a bit old and senile in my old age, so I hope I got that right, Gina. Oh, geez, Chris, I get to work the other day, and the HR manager says to me, "Did you forget something today?" And I said, "No." She gives me the keys to my motorbike. And she says, "That's about the fifth time you've left them in the bike." But I got to tell you, this is how good this country is. I went for a walk the other day, and I put my phone down and my water. Anyway, I'm walking, and I'm sitting in the coffee shop, and I'm thinking, where the hell's my phone, right?
No,
I've left it at the park. So if I'm back to the park, it's still there. I'm like,
that's
what
amazing.
the hell? Anyway.
That is amazing.
It is. They're pretty honest, the Thais. I'll give them that. I mean, not that everyone is.
That's
hey,
great.
before we go on, so yeah, Gina is in Corowa Rutherglen. Yep. Jacob says you still look ripped, Chris. That might be an in joke. He's the solo man. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. He has got the solo. Before we go on, I just got to make a big apology for Monday night's show. We had a few technical difficulties. In the end, we sort of got on, but we weren't on Facebook. And every now and then you cut to me in giving an English lesson. So I hope any of you learnt some English. I was doing compound nouns for those of you who are very good in English. Chris will remember what a compound noun is, won't you, Chris?
I tell you what, it's been a while, but
it's when you get two nouns to make one word, like black and board, blackboard. Okay, bus and station, bus station. So there you go. There's the free English lesson for tonight. But so I'm very apologetic. I'm sorry, one and all. Also, got to mention, Chris, hold the scarf up. We're off to Qatar or whatever, so we're multicultural here. Chris, there's someone behind you. Look out. I don't know what that means, Chris. I don't know.
I think you might have been referring to this bad boy here, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so g'day, Rash, all the way there in the sandpit. I didn't realise he was back there. Rich, can you change your name to DJ Rash? We have a mutual friend, Michael Edgley, who's probably meeting up with Rash in a few days because he's in Qatar. So he tells me about Rich's DJing. So we might get him on one night to spin some discs for us. I must ask Rash if he's a vinyl man or a CD man or a Apple, mixer. So maybe he can tell us. Rash, DJ Rash, are you into the vinyls, the CDs, or whatever? Yeah, thanks, Jacob. I love you too, mate. Thanks very much for your support.
Jacob.
Hey, Chris, the football club has beaten us to it tonight. The teams have already been announced, so we'll go through one thing. I asked Chris if anyone can answer this question. We'll be very happy. When did Caleb Marchbank get injured? Because he lasted the whole game. I even saw him on Roaming Brian, and he was given a prize because he got through. But you know, I'd love to know. Hang on, DJ Rash, original vinyl. He's a vinyl man.
Now with the
Rash, one day you got to come on and get on, mate. Oh, Jacob, he hurt himself at training. Seriously? Obviously on the Monday or the Tuesday, maybe on the weekend, because we played Friday. Maybe they had a small run on Monday or Tuesday. He tore a meniscus in the knee. So he's we'll go through the injuries later on. Apparently he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. So you don't want to be a defender. You don't want to be a defender. Sorry, mate. Go for it.
That's right. What I was going to say was that's going to require an arthroscope because that's what usually happens with meniscuses. I know this from experience because I know people that have done their meniscus in their knee, and that's usually not a great injury to have one way or another. Some would probably almost say that it's as bad as having the ACL, but at least with the meniscus, you still have some sort of knee there.
And now Chris is being Dr. Peter Larkins on the show. Another hat that we've put to you, Dr. Larkins. Thanks for that training update. We'll get some more tips from you later. So I guess really there's no surprise about Sam Durden coming in to replace Marchbank. We've run out of defenders. I don't know of any other defenders in the Rezzies. So. And Chris, you actually went and watched the reserves play, the VFL, I guess they're called.
Yes.
How did he go?
Play. So Sam Durden, he got 14 touches playing in our back line against Essendon's reserves out at Windy Hill. For those that aren't familiar, Windy Hill is Essendon's spiritual home.
Scum Park.
Yes, of course. And I must admit, it was a very cold and windy day out there because there was a lot of wind, and it was quite crazy just to even witness it happening. In terms of other defenders, we did have Brodie Kemp playing out there. He could have done a little bit better, you would think, by his own standards, but unfortunately, as I'm about to tell you, the reserves got done by Essendon out at Windy Hill, which is not always a great result considering the rivalry.
Yeah, I hate Essendon. Hate them with a passion. I'm so
So
good.
do I.
You know, I sent Vince and DJ Rash. I can't call you Rich anymore, mate. DJ Rash. I sent them a WhatsApp message into the first quarter saying we can't lose to these guys. We kicked the first 3 goals and then they kicked 3 goals, and I'm like, no, I losing to Collingwood was bad enough. I mean, you know, I hate that when you go to that Collingwood. Oh, it's like fingernails down the chalkboard to me.
Oh, don't go there. Don't go there.
I hate it, but I guess the boys stuck fat. I actually think we probably could have won by a bit more. Vossi got a bit animated. Good to see.
Yes, even if we were only 20 points up, but you know what? I don't mind that because he thought because if he thought that we weren't doing enough in that quarter, which has been in previous years been, in the words of the Jumper Punch, the banana quarter.
Yeah.
And then the players need a good rev up.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I think David Noble's come under a bit of criticism for yelling, but you know, look, I'm not the youth of today, Chris. You're probably a lot younger than me and probably a lot more in tune with the youth of today. I mean, even when I was a kid, yelling never really did anything. It just,
No,
just
it never.
probably woke you up a bit. But I mean,
Yeah.
if I got upset every time I was yelled at when I was a kid, God, I would have committed suicide by the age of 10. I was always getting yelled at by my dad. But
Yeah, don't worry, that was me as well. I was always getting yelled at some point, and sometimes yelling, as you say, does not help the people growing up, and some could say that it's not helping these new millennial kids that are coming through. But look, sometimes if they want to get a point across, unfortunately, that's what you've got to do. You've got to emphasize it.
I guess as long as it's not personal and degrading or derogatory, so to speak. I mean, like if he's saying, "Beachy, I've told you to pick up your man. Please pick up your man. Why don't you do?" That's a bit different. But if he's
Basic.
yeah, well, geez, there's Parker. Imagine Ron Barassi. He used to look like he was going to burst a jugular.
Well, Joe, it's funny you mentioned Ron Barassi actually, because I know we're sort of going off topic here, but if you go on YouTube, and this is for everyone else as well, if you go on YouTube, there's a video of him actually breaking the North Melbourne players when he was coach at a quarter time break. And funnily enough, it was against us at Arden Street.
Yeah, that's all right. That's cool. I mean, or there's the old Alan Jeans, you get to that crossroads. You got to step up or you're going to step down. Are you going to step up or step down? Brad, if we win by 183 points, I personally will fly first class from Bangkok to, I'm assuming you're in Melbourne, and I will take you out for one night drinking French champagne, right? You can quote me on that. So, Brad, I know we've never met. I'm sure you're a lovely guy, but if we win by 183 points, that is my promise to you. All right, I'll even get us a hotel room.
And you know what, guys, the guys in chat that's commented so far, you're all witness to this conversation. All right, you are all witnesses to this.
Yeah, Brad, I'll love you long time. You can't drink. What? All right. How about a 5-star, a night in a 5-star hotel? I'll personally message you with what we can have. Right? It's probably R-rated, Brad, but mate, that's a good thing. I don't really drink that much anyway, but I'll do something for you, Brad. Hang on.
Do you want those medals on the bed?
That is standard. What do you mean? Do I want that? I would have thought that's standard, Brad. Do you even ask? Jacob, you're on the right track there, my son. But we're an R-rated show, so let's just say female companionship. Okay.
So, oh God.
Unless you're talking about shisha hookers, but hey Pommy, how you doing? But geez, Pommy's looking like Charlie Curnow these days. Ain't he?
Well, he is his boy.
Jeez, Pommy, I didn't realise you were in training. My God, maybe Pommy can take up the slack in defence if we get another injury. Jacob, all good, mate. All good, mate. Don't worry about it. So where do you think the game will be won? Both have got huge forward lines. Gina, that's a bloody good question, and I thought because we can't discuss the ins and outs because the team's already beaten us to it, I think that we'll win it in the centre. I really think we'll win it in the guts. Even with Chera out, Pommy is a legend. Sorry to break off. For someone who's come out from England, he's got a bloody good read on the game. He knows the stats, and I don't know how long you've been in Australia, Pommy. You could probably tell us, but
Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. He's told me he said previously he's been in the country since 20. N, I believe. It probably can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but yeah, he's been out since then.
Yeah, he's bloody got a bloody good read. I know Dusty's out. Dusty is out.
But Tom
We,
Lynch
we
is in.
we were talking about this off air. So to answer your question, Gina, I think we'll win it in the middle. I think our forward line is more potent than the Richmond forward line. I'm not 100% sure about their small forwards because I haven't seen. Let me just look at the team. Judson Clark is new. Hugo Ralph Smith is new. Shai Bolton is a good player, but I think our big forwards of Harry and Charlie, one day they're going to fire, and you saw it earlier in the year. And if they fire and hold their marks, I mean, look out because Cripper's improved his disposal. He's pretty accurate. George Hewitt's pretty accurate. Bam Bam's pretty accurate. So, Gina, I think we'll win it in the middle. I mean, they're defenders. Nathan Broad, Dylan Grimes, Robbie Tarrant, Liam Baker, Nick Vlosten, Josh Gibcus. I don't get to see a lot of Richmond, unfortunately, these days. The one that I'm really surprised at, Noah Bolter can't start on the bench, can he?
Possibly. Couldn't. I mean, well, he's on the bench at the moment. And, we always know that sooner or later that changes with about a minute or so to go.
Yeah.
You probably could start. Well, that's the thing. Who do you start on the bench in place of him? Do you do Gibcus? Do you do Clark? Do you do Baker? Do you do?
I don't know.
Lambert's playing. I thought he was out.
Yeah, he's on the interchange. Brad, I think you're right. We could see a shootout. Peter, yeah, let's hope we can do it for Cripper because it's his 150th on the weekend. Guys, good evening, guys. Guys is talking about how we're still the underdogs. Do you know something? To be honest, I don't care whether we're favourites or the underdogs. I just want us to win. I don't think that the players really give two hoots about whether they're underdogs or favourites. Let's just. I've always said the scoreboard's the thing that matters. So, yeah, that's right, Jenna. Congrats, Cripper. We play best as underdogs. Yeah, that's okay. Here's one for you, Beachy. Smile. There you go. That's now Jacob. We don't want Chris to smile because when he smiles, all the girls tune in and takes the attention off me.
Steady on, Sean. Could you
clarity, please? If the Blues win, does this round solidify? Yeah, I guess so, Goss, because I think 12 or 13 wins gets you into the 8. So look, let's be totally honest with everyone here. If at the start of the season I'd have told you we'd have finished between 7th and 10th, I think a lot of people would have said, yeah, I'm happy with that. If I'd have told you we'd finish in the 8, you'd be ecstatic, right? Considering where we've come from. So I think if we win, what are we, 9-3?
9-3, yes.
Yeah, we've got some hard games coming up. We've got the Tigers and we've got Melbourne, not in this order, but we've got Brisbane, Geelong, Melbourne, Collingwood again. I'm with Brad. I don't care if we win 1 point or 183 points. I just want to win.
Exactly.
But I think if we do win tomorrow, you could probably cancel any September holidays. I don't think we'll finish top 4, but I just want us to play a finals game. Win, whether we win, lose, or draw it.
And we don't care where it is. We don't care where it is. I mean,
don't
look,
care either.
we would love it if it was in Melbourne. We would love it if it's in Melbourne. But if it's interstate, okay, then that means we've got to go on the road, we've got to take a team on the road, and we've got to take them out so that way we can go further.
Yeah. Guys, I think, sorry, Goz is saying, just checked if the Blues win, will we be equal first? I guess we will.
Yeah, because the top three have a bye this week.
Yeah. But guys, I don't want to finish top four. I don't care if we finish top four. Top four is a bonus. I mean, considering all the injuries we've got, I still don't know top four. But look, I don't know. Have a look. There's a lot of teams from 10th who still think they can win the grand final, right? So you got to remember where we've come from. Last year we didn't finish in the eighth. Sorry. So let's just, I hate it one step at a time, 1 week at a time. But I seriously think we'll be in the eighth. If it's in Melbourne, I'd back us at the G if we get our players back. Yeah, Brad, I agree.
Yep,
I agree
with you there.
And Jacob is all the way. We're on a great wave. Yeah, that exactly. This is what gets me. I read a lot of sites where they're all saying, "Oh, bring back Dow and bring back Setterfield." And I wrote to one of the girls. I said, "Well, who are you going to drop?" "Oh, drop Nunes and Cotterill and so." And look, as much as I hate Jack Nunes, he is doing the job that he is asked for, right? So you don't change winning formulas, right? You don't. And Brad's right. You crawl before you walk.
And you walk before you run.
Yeah. And I don't understand why people are like, "Oh, drop this bloke and drop this bloke and bring this guy in." Hang on, here you go. Surely Carlton making the finals would make Beachy smile. No, guys. Impossible. He's not paid enough to smile. He's asked for a pay rise and he said then he'd smile. Poor Beachy's the butt of all their jokes. Get back into us, Beachy.
Well, hang on, guys. Peter? What I understand then is you seem to be bleeding blue all the time. I'm surprised there's enough blue blood left in you.
Who, to Goz?
Yeah, Goz.
Oh, I don't know. He's a man. He's certainly got blue blood. So let's just run through some of the injuries. Yes, Peter's saying Nunes played well. Look, I was saying this to Beachy. I'm not a Nunes fan, right? I never have been. I never was. But he's doing the job that's asked for, and that's all you can ask from a player. And so he does not deserve to be dropped just because someone wants Paddy Dow in the team, or someone wants Lockie O'Brien in the team, or someone wants, Setterfield in the team. To be honest, Setterfield's had his chances. My computer's decided to play up, so I don't know. Let's go through the injuries. Let me get onto a different screen, and if you don't see me, I'm sorry. So let's go through this alphabetically. Chera, 2 weeks. Well, he was subbed out very early last week. I'd rather not risk him. 2 weeks is 2 weeks. Who have we got next week, Beachy? So who miss Richmond?
His
and who
former side, Fremantle.
Okay.
Fremantle next week on a Saturday afternoon.
In Fremantle or in Melbourne?
Melbourne.
Yeah, I'm going to give us a chance there. So Chera's out. So the next one going through alphabetical, Cunningham. Plans is to have him available late in the season. Well, he hasn't played.
How late are we talking here?
So next year, I'd say. Okay. David Cunningham. Again, there's people he's got to really impress in the VFL if he wants to get in, because people like Paddy Dow, Stocker and Kemp, are probably in front of him. Ed Kerner resumed training this week. availability to be determined on how adapting skills. I'm of the opinion that Ed probably
He's
won't
done.
play again and will retire at the end of the year. So
He's
very
done.
serviceable. Yeah.
Yep, he's done for mine. He's not gonna break you.
Yeah. Caleb Marchbank, we just talked about 6 to 8 weeks. So what's that take us to? Round 21, 22. Depending on how our other tools are, may come back for the finals. But if you've got people like Wiedering and who else is there? Mitch McGovern. I'd put Wiedering in before him, unfortunately. Maybe at the expense. Maybe at the expense of Plowman, maybe. But Oscar McDonald's out for the year. Mitch McGovern, 6 to 8 weeks. What do we? I don't know what we do with him. Rich, Marchie finished. If he comes back, I think next year, Rich, maybe he will come back. I mean, it took 3 years to get him back, but I think he will come back eventually. Who was I talking about? Mitch McGovern. Well, what do you do with him? I mean, I don't know.
What can you do?
I don't know. Gina, how good was Cotters? These guys need to fight. Now fringe players need to step up. Well, that's right. You can't drop him, Gina. He's doing what Vossi's asking of him. Who was I to? Luke Parks says remains a chance. Gone. Pitternet, aim is for him to play in 4 weeks. So, yeah, I agree, Rich. Same players always getting injured. I don't know what it is. People are blaming what's the guy's name from Hawthorn, the fitness guy? His
Russell.
name escapes it. Yeah, I don't think it's Russell. I don't think
it's not Russell.
It's
because how else does Wiedering and Co come back as soon as they had prior to their injuries?
Well, Russell didn't dislocate Wiedering's arm, and he didn't tear so and so's
meniscus.
Hang on, Vince wants to come on, and he can't find the. This is always happening. Just keep talking, Beachy.
Yep. All right. So while we're waiting for Vince, the injuries, speak for themselves. But we've actually done quite well where we are. We're 9-3 at the time of this going to air live, and it's been quite a step up under a new coach like Michael Voss, who has the proven track record as a player. If he had his time as a coach at Brisbane, didn't quite work out. Left there to go to Port Adelaide for some years under Hinkley, and he's been able to hone his craft into coaching, and here we are now.
Yeah. The next injury is Jacob Wiedering. Jacob Wiedering expected to be back within a month. And then last but not least is Zach Williams. I don't think we'll see Zach Williams this year. I really don't. They say on the injury list that he plans to be available late in the season. I can't see it. I really can't see it. So so that's the updates on the injury. And here he is, Vince. You need to look through the links a bit better because it's a little bit up in that chat, my friend.
I apologise, Joe.
That's all right.
Technology is not my strong suit.
That's all right. Well, Vince,
how are you, boys?
We're well. We're well. You can answer this question.
Thank you for inviting me on.
Oh, always a pleasure. You can answer this question. When or if will McGovern come to the point where enough is enough and the club will get change in regards to him delist or trade? That's a lot of money for nothing for a long time. I got a view on this, but you go, Vince.
Look, I think, first of all, I can understand the frustration with McGovern. He's been paid a lot of money for a lot of years and we haven't had a lot of service out of him. Hello, Gina. Thanks for the cheerio there. I think it'll get down to what he will be prepared to stay for. If they can, I think they've seen the potential in McGovern to be a player that can play that intercept defender. And he's shown already, in a couple of games this year that he's very capable of doing that, a bit like his brother. It may be worth gambling at least a year to retain him. Maybe they'll give him 2. I can't see them giving him more than 2 years. And he'll have to take one almighty pay cut. And if he's not prepared to do that, well, then I think he'll be on the scrap heap and looking for another home and probably have to give his expectations a decent haircut if he's going to go anywhere else. Look, I can understand if the club loses interest or loses patience. But I think we've been teased enough by what McGovern potentially can do to say maybe if you can keep him on a vastly reduced salary, it's worth keeping him. But certainly not for the sort of money he's been getting over the last 4 or 5 years.
What? How old is he? Does anyone know?
He'd have to be every bit of 27, 28 now, I think.
Yeah. My view is the same. I don't think anyone will take him, right?
You never know. Someone might gamble on him as an intercept defender.
Yeah, but not at the salary that he would
not at that salary. I think
right?
He's got to realise that whether it's with us or whether it's anyone else, he's going to have to, his days of enjoying a big fat cat type salary without having to do a lot for it, those days are just about gone.
Yeah.
If he's going to continue his football career, he's going to have to modify his expectations quite considerably, I would have thought.
Brad says, if he's fully fit, I'll play him at the club. I agree. At centre half back, he was playing great before he got injured.
He was.
Goss, 27. I think they'll give him a year, right? I think they'll say to him and his manager, listen, you've had a bloody good run at the club and you haven't played yet. One, you haven't lived up to your potential.
Yeah, I think we've got every right to say, listen, Mitch, you owe us, right?
Yeah,
we've paid you big time for 4 or 5 years. You really haven't been on the park. We haven't had anything close to value for money. So it's about time that, you pay us back a bit, take a massive haircut on your salary, and we'll give you 1 or 2 years. But that's it. I can't see him getting even half the money he was on.
No.
He should never have been recruited on that money in the first place.
As if Port are going to take McGovern for Amon.
No. They wouldn't do it.
I get annoyed when people make these sort of comments. I know it's you guys, but
that's what you call a wish list. That's like saying I want to get rid of McGovern and I want to get Amon, but I can't see it like that.
Well, why don't we just ask for Port Adelaide Football Club as well? Why don't we ask for the club? Gina, Gina's asked a question. Sorry, Gina, we were talking about McGovern. She's asked, Beachy, who takes on Lynch and Rewalt? We were talking about this before. Beachy, go ahead.
All right, well, sorry to be short and sweet with your question, Gina, but I think one of Young will probably be taking Lynch, and you'll have Durden on Rewalt.
Interesting.
Yeah. We were talking about this off air. I mean, Chris gave me some stats. I didn't know how heavy and how tall Lewis Young and Durden were. Durden S, not the other Durden.
Yeah.
But this is a personal opinion. I think Rewalt is past his prime. Not to say that he's not dangerous, because if you watch his games, he's trying to take mark of the year. And knowing our luck, he'll probably fluke one against us, right? But I think the one that always kills us, even when he was at Gold Coast, is Lynch. He always kills us, right? So
he's the one that we traditionally played Wiedering on. So
yeah,
it's going to be a big job, whoever gets it.
I think. Who did you say, Beachy? Who did you say would get him?
Yeah,
So Rewalt or Lynch?
Lynch.
Lewis Young.
Young.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lewis Young will get him only because, well, I mean, I know Durden's played 10 games for North. I can't even remember him. Young hasn't played many more games than 10, has he? It's probably 20. So, Gina, Young has been amazing. Runs at 100%. Going to dive that goose. Yeah, I'll go with Young on Rewalt.
Underestimate Jack Revolt at your peril, Joe. He may not be the same youthful Jack Revolt because he's now 33, maybe 34. He's in the twilight of his career, but he's got a hell of a lot of experience, and around goals, he's still got that nous.
I agree.
You have to value in your forward line, and he's still capable of kicking, at least 2 or 3 himself, and still playing a hand in a lot of others. I think he's a very dangerous forward still, even now at 33 years of age.
Yeah. Well, we can agree to disagree, but I'm not saying he's not dangerous. I just don't think he's the same sort of forward as he was, and you respect him and stuff like that because if you don't, but
tell you a couple of players that are playing for Richmond that'll make a big difference compared to the round 1 match that we had earlier this year, and that is Vlosten for starters. I think will be a massive difference to their defence. And help me, Beachy. Who's the other one that's come in since then?
Prestia.
Was Prestia there in round 1?
Yes, and he was subbed out early. That's right. He got injured. So if he plays a full game, that's another player that'll make a massive difference. There's a few there. I'd have to go through the side. I just haven't got it in front of me right now. But Richmond are going to be a very different outfit this time around.
I hate to chat. No, that's okay. Was Noah Bolter was there, wasn't he? That's right, because he gave away the 50 metres.
Yep.
Ivan Soldo out. We were talking about this before, and Jacobs talked about bringing over Goldstein on a 2-year contract. I'm actually happy that Soldo's out because that was a 2-prong ruck attack. So now it's basically Nankervis, who's a good ruckman, against
up against De Koning.
So at least De Koning doesn't have two to go up against all the time. I mean, I don't know. I think they're going to throw Noah Bolter in the ruck when Nankervis wants a rest, just like we throw Jack Silvani. I'm not keen on Cripps taking the ruck.
I was just going to say that, Joe.
I can just see an injury coming. I can just see an injury coming. Just let the guy get the ball, right? I just don't watch it. I just don't like it. I have to watch out for Lambert. I suppose you got to watch out for all of them, really. But
the sad thing. You know what the sad thing about Lambert is?
Carlton man.
Kane Lambert used to play for the Northern Bull Ants. One of best and fairest, and couldn't get a gig on our senior list.
Went to Princess Hill, just across the road from Princess Park. Sorry, Optus Oval.
Well, he ended up leaving the whole shebang. Even Preston. I think he went to Williamstown for a year, and that's when Richmond picked him up, and now he's a triple premiership player. So good luck to him.
Well, I'll put it this way: he wouldn't have been a triple premiership player.
And you might as well throw in Jack Graham out at as well. He's been known to do damage against us when we played them.
Yeah. But Peter Bazzasto's on the front bar tonight. Didn't know that.
That would be just about starting now, wouldn't it? What time's that starting?
9:30, I think, isn't it?
Oh, is it on late? Is it? Okay.
I don't know. I'm in Thailand. I watch it at midnight tonight.
You guys keep going. I'll just double check.
I think it normally starts at 8:30, which would be about 8 minutes ago.
Well, they should. It starts at 9, according to guys.
Starts at 9. Okay, well, that's when we finish.
I don't want to rest Cripper on the back line either. I don't want to injure him. I'd rather that they put maybe a Jack Silvani
Could
down the
Cripper
back line.
rest on the back line? Geez, that's an interesting concept. I've never heard that one before.
If he
I think
was.
if he's going to rest anywhere, he rests up forward and gives us another forward option. But
And put the Conning down back. Don't know.
wow,
Don't know.
no, I wouldn't say so.
Don't know.
Anyway,
Gina, I think she's trying to say.
by
Sorry,
the
my-
way,
my
guys, you know how you were
computer's
talking about Caleb Marchbank
Yeah,
and whether he did the injury in the game or at training or whatever.
yeah.
What the story is that he felt fine after the game, but then on the weekend it started feeling a bit swollen and a bit sore, and then it just got progressively worse, and he ended up getting it looked at, and they did a scan, and they said, no, you've torn the was it the meniscus, I think?
Meniscus.
Yeah, and that's what's caused him to have the surgery. So it wasn't a training; it was an injury that basically has been, after having healed, it's now been re-injured. So it's tearing the same ligament that you once tore years ago, and now it's been re-torn again. So hopefully in 6 or 8 weeks he comes back. What's that?
So has he had a torn meniscus before?
Well, he's had 2 knee reconstructions before. So, yeah, basically, yes. And ACLs as well.
Just a quick question. Vince, have they said what knee he's done it in?
To be honest with you, Chris, I haven't heard them say it's the left or the right. I haven't heard any commentary about which knee it is. I'm struggling to remember which knees he actually injured. So I can't tell you, but all I do know is that it's a torn ligament in the same knee that was reconstructed.
Chris,
so that's very unfortunate.
Can you answer this question, Chris?
First of all, Jacob, I don't drink alcohol, so your theory's flying out the window there, brother.
Tell him you're drunk on Solo, aren't you? He smashed a couple of cans down.
I've had one can of that.
I'm with Jacob. I reckon Beachy's had a sneaky couple of reds in off air.
I think he's had
in
some
his,
medicinal
reading
marijuana.
a few books in his library there, the world's best library.
On, boys.
Have you been having some medicinal marijuana, Beachy?
That's enough, Joe. How do we exploit Richmond? What are their weaknesses this week? That's a very good question. What do we think, fellas? What's the Richmond weakness that we have to exploit?
I'll tell you their weakness. They're up against Carlton.
Oh, come on. You're going to have to be a little bit more detailed than that, I would have thought. Chris, what do you think? Where can Richmond be got at?
It's a very good question. Aside from Joe's banter answer, which I must admit is quite funny, look, honestly, the game's won in the middle. We have to take them out. They've got no Dusty there, and he's usually done us quite badly playing through the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That said, Grimes and Blodstone at fullback and half back. If we can restrict their impact, then we can exploit them down back as well. So what can we dish up, boys?
To be honest, I think we'll beat them in our forward line. I think if Charlie and Harry fire, and if our small forwards are on song, someone said earlier it's going to be a shootout, right? And I think that's where we'll beat them. Gina, I tend to agree about the midfield, but they've got some good midfielders. So let's just compare their midfield. Sorry if you can't see me, but they've got Kane Lambert, Jaden Short, Marlon Pickett, Shai Bolton, Dion Prestia, Trent Cotchin. Maybe we will get them on the midfield. We've been really lucky to pick up a really, really, really good midfielder in George Hewitt. I think he's been our recruit of the year.
What about Chera being out? What about Chera being out this week, boys? Is that going to hurt us?
No, because I don't think so, Beachy, because I think, you know what it does? It puts more responsibility on the fringe players like Zach Fisher. I'm very critical of Zach Fisher. He's got skill and he's got pace to burn, but he's just so inconsistent. If he got some consistency to his game, he would be such a dangerous player. So these are the sort of games where he needs to step up and show us what he's made of. You know, like, because we've got Cripper, Hewitt, who else?
Walsh,
Kennedy, and Walsh, right? Who can all rotate. Now's the thing, you know, Jack Martin, another one. Come on. He looks so bloody lazy, that guy. He's another one that's on big money. He should be going, I don't know if he goes to the synagogue, the mosque, or the church, but he should be praying to whatever God he prays to thank the Lord that he's got 900K, because by God, he doesn't play like a 900K player.
I'm not sure he's on that much, Joe.
He is. He's on 900K.
I think he's on about 750.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm not saying it's not a lot. It's still a lot, but it's not 900.
You know, that's a lot of money. That's
it's a lot of money for someone who gets about 8 to 9 touches a week.
That's what I was going to say. George
might
Hewitt's
kick one goal.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
McGovern's on similar sort of figures, and he gets similar up till this year, he was getting 7, 8, 9 possessions a game and maybe kick one goal.
Yeah. So Peter,
Cotter's stepped up. I agree with that.
Yeah, and Zach Fisher. Maybe we could put Jack Nunes in the middle.
Joe, Jack Nunes is doing a very good job on the wing at the moment. Thank you very much.
Can I say something? I admitted that earlier.
I know.
I said that. I still don't like the guy. I don't think he's your future. But anyway,
be objective for a change. We didn't stop being subjective.
I said he's good. Fisher should watch Acker. Now I wish Fisher was about 80% Acker.
I think Fisher's done a lot better this year than last year. I think he's improved out of sight.
Yeah. Got to get it out of the guts. They will front load his first 2 years. Who are we talking about, Brad?
Probably Jack Martin.
Yeah, but still, even if they do front load, even the way he's playing, he's not worth. I wouldn't give him more than 500. But anyway, Brandon, who will be the
Who will the sub be this week? Depends on who the emergencies are. Who are the emergencies, guys?
All they've done.
If you bear with me, I will get that for you.
Emergencies: Paddy Dow, Lachlan. The interchange is Jordan Boyd, George Hewitt, Jack Nunes, Corey Durden.
Yep.
Emergencies: Paddy Dow, Lockie Fogarty, Will Setterfield, Brody Kemp. I'm going to say
so. One of those 4 becomes the medical sub.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. My money's on Paddy Dow.
I don't agree. I think it'll be Will Setterfield.
I'm with Vince.
Oh,
okay. He had 34. He had 34 possessions and 2 goals last week. I think he did a pretty good job. He deserves a recall.
Looks like Tarzan plays like Jane.
Yeah, all right. Well, you can only do the job in the VFL and try and get your spot back in the team. But who knows?
Paddy Dow's been more consistent than him in the VFL. Why aren't you giving it to Paddy Dow?
Well, they did give him a shot a couple of weeks ago against Collingwood, and then he got dropped.
But was he that bad against Collingwood?
It's not. No, I don't think he was bad as such. He got 20 possessions, I think, that day, but he's just not fitting into that midfield in a manner that they would want. I just don't know that he's the right fit for our midfield. And don't be surprised if by the end of this year, Paddy Dow is on the trade table.
Well, he signed a 1-year contract extension a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's so that we get something for him, so that he doesn't just walk out and we get nothing for him after we basically used pick 3 on him. Beachy's having a good yawn there after his 3 glasses of Shiraz.
Eddie on, boys. I barely drank alcohol.
Hey, cut it out. He only drinks the good stuff, Hill of Grace or Grain.
I said
Come on.
Shiraz. The Hill of Grace is a Shiraz.
You've got to mention. Hopefully, if anyone from Henschke or Penfolds is watching, feel free to sponsor us with some Hill of Grace or Grange.
I'm sure you would like that very much, wouldn't you, Joe?
We'll happily accept it, even if
We'll
Beachy
take
doesn't
product.
drink.
We don't even need money. We'll just take product.
Oh, I don't want money. Can I tell you? Yeah, I know Beachy doesn't drink, but well, what's that cheap Penfolds stuff that they have? Jacob's Creek, right?
Mm.
How much do you pay for that in Dan Martin? Probably about
Dan Martin or Dan Murphy?
Dan Merton. Dan Murphy. Someone's put here Martin. I don't know why Brad Turner's put Martin.
Yeah, it was in reference to the front-loaded comment. You were wondering what we were talking about?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and, so I guessed it right.
Gina, what about Boyd? We've mentioned Boyd, didn't we?
Boyd's on the interchange, so he's got a spot on the side, Gina. He's actually playing. He's part of the 22.
Yeah, I don't know about him. Jury out for me.
Look, he's playing a role. He's playing a role in that back line, and when he's on, he seems to do it pretty well. He looks pretty comfortable back there.
Gina, well, you can tell me how much is a
bottle of
how much is a bottle of Jacob's Creek? I think they're about $10 or $15 there.
Depends what sort of Jacob's Creek wine you're talking about, Joe.
The red, it's just cheap wine. I know, I remember it. Here it's like $45.
Well,
there's 200% tax on wine here.
It's certainly not a Henschke Hill of Grace or a Penfolds Grange.
Hang on, hey Beachy, is this true?
Beachy sitting back in his leafy suburb, sipping a top-notch red or Scotch and a Cuban. That would be a Cuban cigar.
A Cubano.
I don't know if Beachy's into smoking cigars, but wouldn't put it past him if he was in the right environment.
Gina,
no, I'm not.
Are you talking about Gina? Are you talking about Boyd because he's in the team? But I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him to. I'll be quite honest. I haven't seen enough of him, and he's not really noticeable in the games that I've watched. So I'm going to leave it to you guys about Boyd, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyway,
what about predictions, Joe?
I was just about to say that. Well, I'm going to go Carlton by 182 points. Did you hear my comment before?
Yes.
If we win by 183,
I'm of course. Of course, you're going to promise the world for a result that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, Gina doesn't mind Boyd. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to say Carlton by 20 points.
Righto, Beachy?
Yeah, I'm thinking along the same lines as well. Carlton by 20 points.
Okay.
I beg to differ. I hate to say this because I hope I'm wrong. But I think the 6-day break and the injury to Marchbank, as well as the Wiedering the match before that, and I just think we're now using a mid-season draftee as one of our key position backmen. It just smacks of desperation. I hope they don't get a hold of us in defence, but I can't see us winning this Thursday. I'm sorry. I think Richmond will beat us.
It doesn't smack of desperation. It is desperation because there's no other defenders.
Well, that's why I'm saying I think Richmond will win. And I think they'll win by 17 points. There you go.
Hang on, Gina. I'm going 18. Yeah, even if I think we're going to lose, I wouldn't say it, Vince. You've disappointed me.
No, I'm just giving you my honest opinion. No, look, as I said, I hope I'm wrong. Of course, I want to see Carlton win.
Yeah,
and
my
goodness, if we do win, we'll be 10-3. Who would have thought we'd be 10-3 and equal first on the ladder? But
oh God,
I just worry about the 6-day break and all the injuries, and too much left, too few now, especially down back. But who knows? They might surprise me. They've surprised me all year.
Ye have little faith.
I hope I'm wrong, Joe.
I want you to.
You know what?
want
This
you to-
time next week, if I'm proven right, then you can apologise.
I can apologise.
If Vince is proven wrong, then he'll be the first to admit he was wrong and he'll apologise.
I will apologise if I'm wrong. I'll
So
gladly apologise because it'll mean Carlton's won, and I always want Carlton to win.
Vince, I want you to join Jack Martin to go to the synagogue, mosque, or church, whatever. While he's praying for a contract extension, I want you to pray for a Carlton win.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so listen, I think that's about enough of us tonight. I think the front bar is probably on soon. Just one thing, God, Andy Marr annoys me.
What did you think of him going down the slide there on Monday with the big freeze?
I was hoping he'd drown. He's the world's worst interviewer. I was listening to him today, and he repeats
on
himself.
SEN? On SEN?
Yeah.
With Andrew Gaze?
Yeah.
Mm.
Hang on, Vince. If Richmond lose, you have to do a spot on live feed. Whoa!
Oh, wow. So what does that mean? Can you please explain what that means? What do you mean do a spot on live feed? Do you know what he means by that, Beachy?
Presumably, I think it means he wants to do a live feed on the spot, but hopefully Mr. Dempsey here will...
Hang on. Shot
on
feed.
Live feed.
Okay.
All right.
You want me to be shot? You mean you want me to be put before the firing squad?
Next to Andy Marr.
Okay, I'll tell you what. When Steve and I host our Sunday night show at 8:00 this coming Sunday, I will. If Carlton's won that game on Thursday night, I will issue a full-scale apology, and I will not tip against them for the rest of the year. How's that?
That'll do.
No, you got to run naked. Going to run naked down Burke Street or something.
I'll tell you one thing, boys.
Yeah.
Just about all the top teams have had a little patch of time where they've lost 2 or 3 in a row. Melbourne's just lost 3 in a row. We saw Fremantle lose a couple in a row. Brisbane lost a couple in a row. St Kilda lost last week. The next 3 weeks could very well be that little patch for us. Don't be surprised. We've got Richmond tomorrow night. Then we've got Fremantle. They're not going to be an easy beat. They've already beaten us once this year. And then we play St Kilda. And they're no easy beats either this year. So there's 3 games that are easily dropped if we're not on our game. And look, the beauty of this year is that we have played to a system. If we have had injuries, it simply meant 1 out, 1 in. And we play the same way. Hopefully we can continue doing that, and the players that come in can play to our system. Hopefully this year, that's where we've proven to have been different to last year.
Sorry, just put something up about Eddie versus Tassie versus North needs to go. We were going to stop. I just want to, if we've all got 5 minutes, I just want to talk about one thing. I was listening to SEN in my swim earlier. I was out swimming because it's 38 degrees here. And I heard 4 club presidents are against granting the license to Tasmania.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I'm shocked. Jeff Kennett's one. Right.
Tony Cochran from Gold Coast is another.
Tony Cochran.
Andrew Pridham from Sydney. Yeah.
And there was one other.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the other one is.
And it might have been GWS. North? I don't think it's North. I don't think it's North. Jeff Kennett, he's just trying to feather the North. He's trying to feather the Hawthorn nest. I'll tell you what, Jeff. You look like Hitler. You should be shot like Hitler. The Tasmanian government have now come out and said, irrespective of whether they get a licence or not, they're not going to support Hawthorn with any financial funding anymore. So there you go, Jeff Kennett. That's for you. They have been nothing but good to Hawthorn and North Melbourne. And then he turns around with his adult, Hawthorn, the family club. Yeah, because they had cats and dogs registered as members. And once they start losing, you're not up to 80, 90,000 members anymore. They drop off, right? At least at Carlton, we stick thick, right? We don't drop. Well, we've had 50,000 odd members for the last 10 years, and we've been a rubbish club. So at least our supporters are loyal. So, you know,
right.
But to be honest, the I will go on a rant, Rich. To be honest, the AFL has been set up in the wrong way because they took a VFL competition and they tried to make it national. Well, rugby league, it's only ever going to be a bloody New South Wales and Queensland game, right? So, I mean, in reality, if you were going to build an AFL from scratch, would you have 9 teams in Melbourne? No, right? Maybe 4, 5 at most. But, hang on. My stupid computer is updating. Sorry, boss. You know, Jeff Kennett, the Tasmanian government have supported your club with money, right? And if they didn't support you, Jeff, your supporters wouldn't have put their hands in your pocket. You would have bloody merged with Nana Goon for all I care. You wouldn't be where you are, right? And then to turn around now and not support it, it's just smacks of arrogance. But should I expect anything less from him? Probably not. Looks like Hitler, acts like Hitler. Anyway, that's my 2 bob on it.
Written and authorised by Joe Lutzer for the In the Blue Corner channel on YouTube.
No, I just do get annoyed at these people that they forget who helps them, right?
Yeah.
You know, like
the reality is, Joe, though, in relation to the Tasmanian licence, the AFL would like to get consensus from all of the club presidents, and because Gillon McLachlan's pushing for that, but they don't need the consensus. They only need the majority.
I understand it, Vince.
But I think you'll find that in the end, it will come down to saying, well, we've done our best to get everyone on board, but there's, 3 or 4 that just won't be swayed. Nevertheless, we're still going to hand them the licence. End of story. Yep. They can object to it as much as they like, but the Tasmanians will get their licence so long as they commit to building a stadium obviously their team warrants a decent stadium with a decent amount of people it can fit in that stadium. So long as it commits to doing that and supporting the club over the next decade with how many million a year, I think you'll find that Tasmanian team will become a reality.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it'll be one of the last things I think that Gillon McLachlan will probably leave as part of his legacy once he's departed the job as CEO.
And guys, if I may, this would be a great thing for Tasmania to get a side, because a lot of Victorian supporting sides will go down to watch games down there quite happily if given the opportunity arose.
Yep. So Nathan Dempsey, okay, on Sunday night show, I'll take a shot of something. I'm not sure. I'll just have to look at what's in the cupboard.
Not that homemade stuff that
probably Bailey's
dad
Irish
makes.
Cream, okay? I'll take a shot of Bailey's Irish Cream if Carlton happens to win, and do it with pleasure because I love the stuff.
But a stadium in Tassie holds twice as much as most stadiums around Australia. Yeah, but you see, if you put it in that Blundstone Arena, which is a stadium that I've been to, same with the events, you only have about 10,000 there. Whereas,
isn't that all of Tasmania?
That's enough, Joe. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful, Joe Kennett.
Do they count both their heads or just one of them?
That's enough.
Okay. But you've got to remember as well, Launceston is probably one of the biggest stadiums there too. But yeah, they need a new stadium to bring into the 21st century, so to speak.
Yeah, you can't bring your cousin.
Wellington. For God's sake,
but anyway,
will you stop? But
the Tassie jokes.
Don't you knock the Tasmanians? I love them. And I love their
Exactly.
state. Beautiful
Yeah,
place.
it's a great spot.
It is.
It's a great
They make
spot.
nice apple cider. Anyway, we've had
All
a
right,
spurt.
boys.
We've had enough. Go Blues! I hope they win. I just want to see Vince drink some Baileys. I'm sure
I'll
Tanya
drink it
might.
anyway, whether we win or lose. How's that,
I'm-
Nathan?
Do we want to no sheep allowed? And do we bring in a Northern Territory team?
Yes.
Do you know what?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I
I'll tell you
would.
why.
I
I'll tell
would.
you why. I wouldn't. Because
Why?
the weather in that time of the year, I know it's tropical, is not good. Have a look at the games that they
What are
play
you
up
talking
in-
about? During the football season?
Yeah.
Just play at night. All
Hang
they
on
got to do
a
is
second,
No,
Joe.
no,
at
it's
night.
wet. It's wet.
Doesn't matter.
Have a look at the
Guys.
games. They get 36
Down in
to
Alice
34.
Springs, it's not wet.
But that's
Guys,
no, it is. It's
Sorry.
tropical weather.
Why can't you play half the games at Alice Springs and half the games in Darwin?
It's still
thank
tropical
you. That's
weather.
what I was going to say. Thank
It's
you,
still
Vince.
tropical weather. It's
But
still
hang
going to
on,
be wet.
if you want a truly national competition, why wouldn't you have a team in the Northern Territory?
Well, why don't we stick one in Cairns too?
Well, maybe you
They play
should.
games
Maybe North Melbourne should go up there.
I'll tell you what. Let's stick a team in Kununurra. It's got a beautiful
No,
beach.
don't be stupid.
It's got a
Come
beautiful
on.
beach.
Now you're being silly.
No, I'm not.
You need a population of people that will support the club.
How many people live in Darwin?
Oh,
Go
well,
and
wait.
Why
in fact.
Kununurra?
Hey,
Do you know how much? Do you know how much the population of the Northern Territory would get behind that team if they had one? It'd be huge. Be a lot better than putting one in Canberra, I can assure you.
I mean, who said Canberra?
GWS struggle to get more than 10,000 people to a game in
Yeah,
Canberra.
because they're all politicians. They're all tight. They're waiting for freebies.
Don't go there, Joe. You're starting.
Anyway, I think this conversation's dwarfing into a really poor argument. Anyway,
Anyway, all right. So on that note, don't forget Vince and Steve on Sunday. Are you on Sunday night this week? Yeah.
Sunday night,
Goz,
8 o'clock.
I believe Goz is doing a show. I don't know when he's doing it now. Friday, Sunday, Monday. He changes the time all the time. Jumper Punch every Tuesday night. The Blue Aboard. My Blue Heaven. There's a lot of Carlton shows out there. Get behind them all. Carlton Live. We're friends of all of them. We don't hide anyone. Pommy and Oz, who was on earlier, get behind it all. And go Blues.
Go Blues.
Go Blue
All right.
Boys.
Until next week, cheerio, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Yeah.